Hello again, my people. Skywalker here, shining light from the darkness as usual. And today is a topic that it comes from something that does irritate. And the reason why it irritates is that it seems like a small thing, but there's a bigger picture to it. Recently, this vlogger from Africa who is a Wood Mayor, that's his name, Wood Mayor or something. He came here recently and highlighted something that I've been talking about for many years, but no one picked up on it. And I keep hearing all these little stupid rhetoric, like people regurgitating things that the white man told them, and going back to that history that is basically written on paper that is not better than toilet paper. That's what it should be used for. Whatever they are teaching you in school, it's on toilet paper, so just use it for that purpose. It is time we get rid of all these things. Listen, Jamaica is no damn blasted land of wood and water. Jamaica is a land where Africans were marooned. Do you know what it means to say someone was marooned? Jamaica means to be marooned. It means that you were exiled. And what happened is, back in the days, and I'm talking about long before Columbus, there was a certain king in Africa who had many vessels, but this is just one. This is just actually one incident of how some of the black people from Africa came through the channel, because there were more incidents, but those people that live on the west coast, like Ghana, going across Senegal and all these areas, even in the region that now they call Nigeria today, they are basically, some of the tribes are basically, families to the Jamaicans. But before the West Africans came, there were another group of black people that came, which they named it the Arawaks first, and then the Taino. They came before the West Africans. Or, well, I'm gonna call them West African anyway. These people that were here were like the Indians, the original Indians. They were related before, from ancient time, when they were on that side of the globe. And I don't know why, but for some reason they are a very short people. They are jet black. When I say jet black, I mean they are very black. And they have hair like the Indians in India. Like curly hair, but it's different texture. And, well, you know the difference. You know exactly what I'm talking. They were here before, and they had similar cultures to the African. Now, when a ship, not even one vessel, there were a few vessels that got lost through the channel. And you know that channel from Africa through to the Caribbean, the way the wind carries. And you know all of that. They thought all these vessels were lost at sea, but they ended up on Jamaica. And you had vessels that came to different islands and stuff, but we're talking about Jamaica, right? Jamaica was not just their regions. After they came to Jamaica, it was not even just this little island. There were several islands, and I would say Jamaica could be, the how would I explain it now? These Indians of the West, that Columbus was looking for, because when Columbus came here, he didn't make any mistake and think he was in India, so he mistakenly called us West Indians. No, he found what he was looking for, the Indians of the West. And now the white man, he couldn't call us the Indians of the West. You understand? He called us the Africans that he brought here as slavery, because they were doing everything to ensure that they were successful in land piracy. It was just about land piracy. This is why they wanted to genocide the Taino Indians so that they could be the first discoverers on the land. But then inland were the Maroons, are the Jamaicans. So the Jamaicans came here after the Taino, but the way the Jamaicans came here now was by those ships that were exiled, that were lost at sea, and then the people on the West African coast think these people were missing. But many years later, people came back to visit, and it was almost like a trade thing. The Africans keep coming west, and the West keep going there, like meeting each other and having trade. So it wasn't even something, a one-off thing. The Ghanaians came, the people who are Ghanaian now and their relatives, they came to Jamaica all the time. And then now there was a situation where the Taino Indians didn't like the Africans because when they just came, they called them Africans. But after a while, they knew them as the Jamaican, the ones that were marooned. So when Columbus came, they referred to the other people on the land as the Jamaican people. Okay? The maroon people. We, like you talking to a Taino who is a black person. I actually met a Taino family in England that they left Jamaica and said they were going to Spain for reparation. Let that settle for a while and let me repeat it. It's settled now, right? I met a family of Taino Indians in England in 2004 going to Spain for reparations. Okay, because of the genocide. But there are still some left in Jamaica, even today. And they say they hated the Africans. There were two sets of black people, one a tall set and one of a short set with that ear. In Jamaica we call it coolie ear, but don't use the word coolie to a Indian who is in India. I mean, in Jamaica it's just a common word. You go to India, it's an insult. So be careful. So we met these people going to Spain for reparations. You never heard it on any radio in Jamaica or anything, but I'm telling you. And they were telling me where others were in Jamaica, but they like to keep under the radar. Back in those days, they didn't like the Africans. Who were the Africans? The Jamaicans, the marooned ones. Okay, those were the marooned ones. So when they were talking to Columbus, it was like, we are the inhabitants here on the land. Those people up there, those people in the hills, those are the Jamaicans. What does Jamaicans can mean? It means people who are exiled. So the Spanish man interprets it as, okay, they are marooned. Do you get it? And you know, Columbus didn't just get here like that, because there was always movement between the islands and Africa. There were Africans that brought him here. Wherever he went, he would just go to an African and say, do you know how to get me to the Indians in the West? Because that's where I hear they have greater empires than down in India at the moment. Or that's where some of them are hiding. And one black man would step up and say, yeah, I've been there early, I can take you there. That's what was going on. So he came to the islands of the sea, to the Indians of the West. And I am going to tell you why they were fighting against the Indians of the West and how the Indians of the West come in. Because you're going to say, oh, but we are black, we are not Indians, right? Or you're going to say, oh, but we are Africans, we are not Indians. And I'm going to explain it to you before I even go any further. It was a war that started many years ago. They call it a 1,000 year war, but it's a war that keeps going. It is not even just the oldest war, but it's a war that keeps going, right? And many of the Indians had to run away. That's the original Indians, which the people that are now in Jamaica came from that fold. They left, they run away from India, went to between Punt and Uganda, and then between Punt and Uganda, they started Egypt. They become the historical Egyptians, along with some other black people they called the Nubians. That was long before the white man came. But the white man kept chasing them because of what they call the secret of the sacred flame. It was basic science. There were science wisdoms. And the black man and the Caucasus mountain that the white men destroyed before calling themselves the Caucasians were a part of this group of people. So these black men lived on the Caucasus mountain. They were always chasing these people from India. And the people ended up from Egypt to wherever, coming right across to Palestine, some in West Africa, some were exiled in Germany and all these other places. Because it was mostly, by a Germanic people, the devastations. And many that ended up in Germany, they were adored because they came from a man named Judah Anansi. Judah Anansi that gave the biblical documents to the Greek. Judah does not mean firstborn, but the white man used it as firstborn because he did not know the language. And Judah was the firstborn of Israel. But Judah actually means Monday. The Akan, they have peace. Right? So Judah was born on a Monday, and Anansi, his name was Anansi, Judah Anansi, the man who gave the biblical document to the Greek. Judah doesn't mean no damn firstborn, it means Monday. And Hanasi, the spider, Hanasi, or Anansi, as we would say in Jamaica. Anansi does not mean no damned president. Anansi means the spider. Judah Anansi, the Monday born spider. Judah spelled Dwaoda, Judah. Okay? So these were the people that were traveling from that section of the east until they reached the west, and the sword was always following to dismantle and destroy. From Egypt, they dismantle and destroy, coming across, digging them, drilling them, trying to find all the wisdom that they have. But a part of that wisdom was buried so damn deep that even today they cannot find it. So, get back to this point now, where from that West African region, these people disappeared and they felt like, oh, they are gone at sea. But eventually, years later, they see these people. In Jamaica, however, because we're talking about the Jamaican people, the Taino did not like them, and the Taino were people that came long before them. But there were people that also came from India. There were jet black people, which were the original peoples of India. And now that the bloodlines met up again, which the Jamaican people went through different tribes and different peoples and different races and became their own ethnicity. So by the time they arrived, they were a taller people too, as I said, and the Tainos did not like them because they said they treated them bad. Okay? So when Columbus came, Columbus decided that he was going to be the discoverer of the land. And these, they are always grapists, right? They are full of grape. And they try to grape the Taino women, and the Taino did not like it, and they took it as an opportunity to genocide the race in order to be the discoverers of the land. But it didn't really work, because when they raped the people, they were not the only inhabitants, because they were the Jamaicans and the land. So now when they stole the land and all that, and they wanted a name for the land, they went and told Isabella, or whoever they told, that the name Jamaica means a land of wood and water, because there's wood and water on the land, but we are not the only Caribbean island with wood and water. Just like how the Jews went and claimed that the word Judah means firstborn and the word Anansi means president, which damn, it's the spider. Okay? So, all you people talking about Jamaica means land of wood and water. Cut that crap out. Cut that crap out. Any African can come from West Africa who speaks the language, who can come and know what the word Jamaica means. Because it was so embarrassing. I saw this guy Wood Mayor come to Jamaica and he knew what the word Jamaica means, and I was so freaking embarrassed. Because to see the people who live here running around and talking about land of food and water, and the first time he came, he knew the name, and he said, oh, this is what it means. Stop taking cues from the white man. Stop being your own damn blasted enemy. You're taking your own word interpreted their way. Why don't you use your interpretation for your own word and your experiences for your own history? Can't you cut the crap up? Can't you cut the crap out? Peace out.